Hello there and welcome to this online special Marketing Media Money, where we're taking the opportunity of looking back at a tumultuous 2018 and looking forward to what 2019 has in store for us. And to take me through all of that are three very big marketers. Linda Yaccarino, the chair of ad sales for NBC Universal, which for full disclosure is the overall owner of CNBC. John Radesky, the global brand and marketing partner and lead at EY, and Lindsay Patterson, the Chief Client Officer at WPP. Welcome to you all, thanks for joining us. Let's start with what were your key moments from 2018. First of all, from the company perspective that you have, Linda.
Well, from the company perspective, we've had NBC Universal has truly had one of its best years ever. I think, or I know part of that reason was a dedication to technology investment and innovation. And we are the largest media company in the US that has a broad range of both linear and digital assets and growing partnerships. So delivering those opportunities, obviously, to the consumer, but now best-in-class opportunities to our marketers has led to a lot of success and a great deal of optimism for 2019. How
important is the Sky takeover for you? There's obvious synergies from the networking, the content, the IP, but what about from a sales and marketing perspective?
It's very exciting. While we are in very, very early days, I think it's going to be a terrific opportunity for our clients, marketers, and partners to be able to look at a newly and uniquely formed premium content opportunity that's now global, that doesn't exist in the premium content space, and that's what we'll be heading in and racing into 2019 to talk to customers about.
John, what about EY? You're not necessarily the biggest sort of brand marketer from a B2C point of view, but you must do an awful lot on the B2B side.
Sure, we do. I mean, as an organisation, we've been going in many ways from strength to strength. Strong organic growth, our people scores, which we think are very important. We're a people business, and I think that's probably one of the biggest differences between us and maybe a consumer brand, is people first. So from a brand point of view, in many ways we think about how our people feel before we think about external marketing. So across the business, diverse services, all of them are growing. Overall, a very, very strong year to reflect on. As ever, we're living in transformative times, and we keep on moving forward, keep on innovating, really.
Speaking of transformation, Lindsay, you are was the Chief Transformation Officer at WPP and now the Chief Client Officer at the same business. There's been an awful lot going on at WPP this year.
That's an understatement. So John said the T word of transformation, but I would say 3 C's. So change. So the biggest change, obviously, is we had a brilliant founder and CEO, Martin Sorrell, who stepped down from the business in April after a huge amount of time, and our only ever leader of that business. So that's a massive change, but also I think a huge opportunity. And actually, interestingly, the change in my title from transformation to client is a signal of that change to come, because WPP is a client-centric business. And that's the only way that we are going to succeed. And under Mark Reed's new leadership, he's laying down very clear parameters around a culture of collaboration. So I would say change. Collaboration, I think, is going to be increasingly important. I'm sure we'll talk about that as a big trend for next year. There's a lot of evidence of how that's working. Some great work Linda's done more broadly in the US, trying to collaborate across different media channels, and actually here in the UK, the TV industry really trying to collaborate. So that's my second C. And then the third C is consolidation. So obviously the other changes that Mark is making for WPP is the merger or the consolidation of some of our agency brands into newly formed supergroups.
So we've had Wunderman and JWT merging into a separate entity, if you like. Is that the last of it, or is there a lot more transformation with the business still to go?
Well, we had BCW, so Burson Marsteller and Conan Wolfe, come together earlier in the year, then VML and Y&R, so VML Y&R. Slightly hard to say, but it's beginning to roll off the tongue. It will soon. And then Wunderman Thompson. There may be more to come. We have a big investor day in a couple of weeks' time, so we'll see. But this is the start, I think, of Mark reshaping the business around our clients' needs.
John, you've seen some change within the business. You've taken on a creative business. Is that you chasing the likes of Accenture and Deloitte and companies like that to become a more sort of holistic business?
I mean, I think, you know, I've got another C for you, which I think is about connected customer. And I think what's happening in the business today, which is, I think, the real driver before all this transformation, is the ways of engaging with customers dramatically shifted. It's an engagement using technology in different ways. So I think from a point of view of, will we engage customers and creating solutions for clients around customer experience design? Yes, we will. But we have a slightly different model in that we will serve the industry, we will be engaged with CMOs, CTOs, and solving some of these customer solutions. But we're not going down the acquisition route of buying creative agencies. In fact, we partner them. So in many instances where what we don't do, we will bring in. I think you mentioned the word collaboration. We talk about, you know, better connected in many ways, better connected ecosystems. So the simple answer is no. We're about partnering where we don't have capability as well.
I think what's really interesting that you brought all of us together, because we're very like-minded in our philosophy or our view to where the marketplace is going. You know, we've all agreed that in the driver's seat is the consumer, but we're also collectively aligned that during this time of transformation, technology disruption, fueled by data, is that the advertising and media industry has got to change. And it's going to change more in the next 5 years than it has changed in the last 50 years, because it's largely operating in identically the same way that it has since its inception. So I feel lucky to be here, to be able to talk with like-minded people that are actually at the forefront of driving that change on behalf of the consumer experience.
But is the consumer changing as well, or is this just the marketing business structurally changing because of things like disintermediation, the power of the duopoly, which may become a trio next year with the rise of Amazon?
I mean, I think if you think about the basic goal of marketing is to help drive growth, and its primary concern is customers. If you look at it from that lens, the customer's expectations of how to engage with a business are fundamentally changed. And I think within that, the definition of creativity has changed. And I think that's probably, for me, the biggest single shift is an emotional experience used to be about a big ad. That's still true. But the way you access and have a returns policy when you're buying clothes online from your favorite brand is probably more emotional as a new experience than the big ad.
Yeah.
So I think for me, customers' expectations have changed. Technologies enable that, and therefore marketers have to rethink the way they engage in its broadest, most creative orientation.
Is that something that you're seeing across WPP and all its guises, whether it's the data and information side or whether it is getting that fundamental advertising message to the customer?
Yeah, I mean, I think WPP as it is today is still communications is a core part of our business, but increasingly we would talk about technology, about commerce, and as John said, about experiences. And the driver behind that as a consumer has huge expectations of what it can do and huge expectations of how it wants to interact with the brand. So even when it's viewing a piece of content, whether that be on a screen or whether it be online, the expectation of what one can do around that content, how they might buy something immediately, how they want to find out something about the actor that was in that, or they want to go behind the scenes. So this whole 360 access and being super aware of how transparent and open you have to be in that environment, I think is critical, and fast and on it, which is why, we were joking. I think, working at high speed, always on. We've got makeup on and dyed our hair. Well, I have anyway. But I think that's the new normal, because actually that's the speed, I think, is the biggest change of what technology has brought, and that access and transparency, which means actually as marketeers and as people that produce content and experiences, we have to be always on at the same time.
Hi, I'm James Wright, and thanks for watching Marketing Media Money. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thanks for watching.